Officers, colleagues and friends, greetings to all of you on India's 79th Independence Day. As we celebrate 78 years of the freedom of our great nation, Bharat, let us bow our heads before the great freedom fighters who have laid down their lives so that India could live. The ones who sacrificed their comforts and personal liberty so that the people of India could achieve all what they dreamt of. From a dismal bag of skin and bones of 1947, we have, in the last 78 years, progressed leaps and bounds to what we are today. Thanks is due right from the visionaries and leaders who led this nation all along, to the movers and shakers in all spheres, and right up to the common man who has done his bit and contributed even his little penny to the cause of its success and development. Today, this is a nation with 1.4 billion dreams, with 1/6 of the world population, a $4.3 trillion economy, the fourth largest in the world, a responsible nuclear power, a military might, the only one in the world which had the courage to strike another declared nuclear state comprehensively and decisively, a space contender sending successful interplanetary missions at 1/10 of the cost of NASA missions, a nation proud of its rich and varied heritage, and of course, a moral compass that doesn't spin with someone else's wind. Well, all of this emanates from our ability to decide things on our own, our freedom. Though there are multitudes of facets to freedom, which we should, as a civilized and democratic nation, strive for, I shall restrict myself to a vital area extremely relevant to us. Officers and colleagues, I am very glad we work in an area which is very central to the development of our nation. Not only do we protect the economic frontiers of the nation, the lion's share of the expenses in running this great nation comes from the taxes we collect. In today's world, where growth and prosperity of each country or bloc is measured in terms of their GDP, it is the trade, commerce and industry which constitute the lifeline for each of them. That is why, these days, the worst wars between countries are fought not on land, sea or air, but they are fought in the realm of international trade and business. Economic standoffs and trade wars have become weapons of international aggression. Recently, we have heard of the tariffs, a word so familiar to us in customs, again in a context which I just spoke of. When the world's biggest economy dropped a second tariff on India, making it 50%, creating a major trade barrier, we have seen how India react to it. No knee-jerk reactions, no use of harsh words, just calm, mature responses. India, a country that had once been spoken to, negotiated with, often dictated to, has begun to realize its own weight in the world. Its markets have grown, its technology has advanced, its voice on the global stage has started to carry. And with that growth comes something even more powerful than wealth. It comes with self-belief. The belief that we don't just have to participate in the system, we could shape it. So when the second tariff came down, the old expectation was that India would bend, that it would compromise quietly, maybe negotiate for a better deal, but ultimately play along. But we all know that's not what happened. This time India stood up straight and said no. And not just no as an act of defiance, but no as a statement of equality. Because when you finally recognize your own value, you stop existing on someone else's terms. This wasn't about aggression. This wasn't about revenge. This was about respect. This was about confidence. This is Independence 2.0, where we stand with our heads held high, with a resolve to carve out our own future. Well, time and again, India has done that against all odds. Whether it was in the 80s, when we were denied the Cray supercomputer by the US, and then our scientists developed our own Param supercomputers. Or in the 90s, when the US did not allow us to buy cryogenic engines from Russia, and then our scientists in ISRO developed them indigenously for our GSLVs. Or when the sanctions were imposed on India after Buddha smiled in 1974, or after we demonstrated Shakti in 1998, just to name a few. My dear officers and colleagues, in today's scenario also, we have a significant role in this war of wits, facilitating the trade, commerce and industry to flourish and help them create robust alternate markets across the world. Let us make sure that India's path forward is not lit by borrowed lamps, but by its own. True, we have a long way to go ahead on various fronts. This day, let's rededicate ourselves into the service of this nation and its people so that it recognizes its true potential. I am sure you will all do well. Every single action, big or small, counts. And collectively, let's make this country proud in every single way, every single day. Jai Hind.